contest set for one fall is for the WWE Championship.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Welcome to Around the Turnbuckle. I am Big Al. That guy right there is Professor Keith, as always. And joining us is the one and only Zoey Cannon. What's up, Zoey?
Hi, how you guys doing?
We are excellent.
Sweet.
We are excellent. Okay, as we near the holiday season, everybody seems to be in a little bit better mood.
Mm-hmm.
I know that last night you were coming fresh off of a show at Higher Ground.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get started into you, how'd that go?
Oh, it was so much fun. That was my debut over at High Ground Pro Wrestling. It was out of the Eagle's Nest or Falcon's Nest?
Falcon's Nest.
Yeah.
Falcon's Nest. You're right.
It is the
Some sort of
Falcon's
a bird.
Nest.
I
Yeah.
remember that. But it was in
Falcon's Nest.
I think it is. It was out
you're
of
right.
Mayfield, Pennsylvania, and it was a lot of fun. I ended up fighting Maniacal Glee, and I have been good friends with Maniacal Glee and Manimal. If you're not familiar with them, they are fantastic. But I ended up fighting Maniacal Glee for my interspecies transmogrified championship. And it was good. I won, and I tried getting the kids involved because Maniacal Glee and Manimal kept tagging in and out, even though they weren't a tag team. So I tried to get some kids, and I'm tagging them in, and the ref said no. So I tried to
Yeah.
but I came out on top.
Killjoys.
David Motorman is here. Good evening. It's Sunday night, 7 o'clock, and that means it's time to gather around the turnbuckle tonight. Our pleasure is learning more about the career and future of Zoey Cannon.
Yes, I
Love it.
have met him many times over at SWO.
Yeah, he's a heck of a
Kenny and
fan.
Lion,
He's
or
a heck of a
something
fan.
else.
He's actually in the SWO Hall of Fame. When they in their fan section, they have fan section for the Hall of Fame, and he's actually in
I
there.
love it.
So yeah, David,
He's a good commentator too. He did commentary with me for a little while, a couple years back, I think, with
Yes.
SWO.
mhm.
Mhm.
Dave did a very good job.
Michael's here. Says, "Hey, what's going on, people?"
Michael Wade. Michael Wade is, I would consider him one of my favorite super fans. He has been supporting me just as a friend in every way. He has made signs. He's brought friends and family to shows. He's fantastic. Hi, Michael Wade.
That's awesome. So it takes a special person to put their body on the line for our entertainment. So somewhere in your life, you fell in love with professional wrestling, because
I did.
if you didn't love it, we wouldn't be talking to you right now.
And something clearly happened to you mentally that happens to all of us. That's like, I need to do this shit.
So
I
how did you fall in love with professional wrestling first, and then after that, how did you say one day, okay, I want to be in the ring?
Well, when I was maybe 5 or 6, I remember I was just around like preschool, kindergarten age, and I have some older brothers, and they really liked wrestling. So I sat down with them at our one TV for the whole family, and I started watching, and I thought it was so cool, and I didn't know who any of these people were, but I saw that there was a lot of action going on, and so I just continued to watch. Hi, Andy. And I really enjoyed it. Then I have a brother and sister that I'm really close with that we all started watching it together. And over the years, I was kind of back and forth because, you know, it was cool, it was not cool. And then I continued watching it as an adult. but it's always been kind of like that thing that I watched as a kid. So you always have like that type of show. I liked cartoons and I liked that. And that was all we really got on TV because we didn't have cable. So I watched a lot of it. And when I got older, it wasn't until I was in my mid-20s that I actually discovered and it clicked that there's pro wrestling schools.
Right.
I don't know what I thought the process was, but I guess I just assumed WWE called you up one day and said, "Hey, we're WWE and we like you and you should be a wrestler." And then the person said, "Okay." And then they became a wrestler. There wasn't really a concept of that this could actually be a thing.
Yeah, that only happens if you're Logan Paul or some other celebrity.
And it's silly to look back on it and realize that there's people that go out there and they train for years and years to even attempt to do it. And I just thought people just grew up and became a wrestler and that was it. So I had started in Massachusetts, where I'm originally from, at one particular training school, and I learned a lot from there. I made some good friends, some good connections. I did a lot of ring crew, but it was absolutely worth it because now I know a lot of the ins and outs on multiple types of rings. I got to meet multiple different companies and kind of learn the lay of the land. When I officially got into the ring to do like my real training, it was like 4 to 6 nights a week, every week up until my debut. And I still continue to train a lot, especially after my debut.
Of course.
It was hard. It was very, very hard. It's physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, sometimes financial, you name it. It was tough.
Michael doesn't like Logan Paul.
He does not.
I get it, but one thing I'll give Logan Paul is Logan Paul could have fucked off on it and been an asshole and coasted on his name. And he went out and he got Rip Rogers to train him. He got the best possible trainer to come train him. So I give him credit for that. He's not always my cup of tea either, but I can't say that he's, one of these assholes that comes in, uses the business and doesn't respect it.
Right.
It's amazing the way that some people, like even as an adult, because I was much older, I was in my 30s when I officially started training and actually wrestling. But someone like Logan Paul, who is near the same kind of age range, he's athletic anyway, but he could do it. He can do the thing that so many people train for, like I said, like years and a very long time to do. Yeah. And sure, he has a little bit of an easier time given his background, but he can do the thing, and that's so cool to witness. Like,
what won me over with him was his match with Rey Mysterio at Mania a couple years ago.
Oh my God, yeah.
That won me over. That if he could hang with a Rey Mysterio, where he hasn't been doing this for very long, and back then he wasn't. I mean, even now he's only been doing it for a couple of years, but then he was brand new and he hung with Rey Mysterio. I thought that's what won me over. And I'm like, okay, I'm sold. If this guy can do this, everybody hates him already. So it's perfect. We love to hate him. It's perfect. He's the perfect heel. We love to hate him because you don't belong here. You're a YouTuber. We hate you. And so we want our heroes to kick your ass.
I will say, from a worker's, or at least my particular viewpoint of watching him, especially for that match, the fans there was how many fans? Like a lot.
Right.
And I've worked some shows where I had 200-300 people, and that seems like a lot, and it is. And it's always good to have obviously a bigger crowd, but it's also good to have the smaller ones. And I can only imagine from his standpoint of being in the ring with a legend in front of all these people at the biggest event of the year.
Yeah.
His heart must have been racing. Like
I'm
last
sure.
night, my heart was racing, and I knew everyone there.
Right.
In the ring. But to be in his shoes and to have that cardio and that heartbeat racing that entire time, like kudos to him.
Yeah.
So you mentioned earlier. You mentioned your debut. Do you remember it? And if you do, who was it against, and how did it go?
It was Saturday, April 27th, 29th. I want to say maybe 29th. of 2023. And it was my official debut. And I remember that I got in the ring and I almost threw up because I was so nervous.
Okay.
Luckily, I did not.
Yeah.
I got to tag with Clara Carreras, and we went against Journey Burke and Harleen Lopez.
Oh, Journey Burke Esquire.
Yes, and I have faced her so many times, and every time it just gets better and better.
I bet.
She is a force to be reckoned with. She is. Wow, I want to face her again. Like I can't get enough. She's so good.
She really is. I've had the pleasure of calling a few of her matches. And
yes.
And
meeting her in person. I mean, we've talked to her in person too. Also.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But she is a machine, and I did not start out that match. I remember that Clara luckily got to do it for me. So she started it out. She tags me in, and I just remember in that moment of being tagged in, like, this is everything I've been working towards.
Yeah,
this is everything I've ever wanted. Like little Zoey, little 5-year-old Zoey watching TV with family. This is everything that she's wanted. She always wanted to be that person. And growing up, my favorite wrestler was Undertaker, just because he had that. And I wanted that presence, even if it, I'm obviously not a 6-something tall man in a trench coat.
Well, you just tugged on the professor's heartstrings there, because that's his Undertaker's his inspiration. Chris Van is even asking you, do you have that wrestler that inspired you?
Yes. Yes, but it's also not Undertaker.
Okay.
Undertaker was my favorite growing up. I thought he was phenomenal. I wanted to be like him. Then when I actually put myself in the mindset of being a wrestler, I watched a lot of Charlotte.
Okay.
Charlotte and Natalia, but more so Charlotte, just because she also
had early NXT Charlotte, like from that point on, or
a little bit of that.
Yeah.
But mostly whatever I saw on just like main WWE.
Yeah.
But here and there, a little bit of everything. But when I really started focusing in was when she was the main WWE platform. And she also had that presence, but she had that presence in a different way where she also didn't have to say much, and she really didn't have to do much, but just standing there and everyone either loved her or hated her. And I'm like, I want that. I want all of that.
Yes.
So I tried.
Yeah. Charlotte tugs at my heartstrings because that's my favorite wrestler.
You were so good.
Yes. So, you would know better when you started. That actually a month before I saw you compete. That was actually a month before.
He's actually pretty much been here for the whole ride then.
Yes. Michael Wade started going to the shows that I was doing very often, apparently a month after I had started. And he has been there ever since. He also has the Michael Wade Live podcast that he'll do every so often on Facebook. And he goes through everything. And he's a great guy, huh, Michael? But yeah, he's a great guy, and he's very supportive of all the talent, even the bad guys.
I think he's going live after us. I think he's waiting for us to be done. Like he wants to watch this interview, and then he's going live like when we're done at 8:00 or 8:15.
He actually does more than I've seen some wrestlers do as far as getting the promotional materials out there, because he does his research. He knows exactly when and where these shows are happening, what the name of the show is, what the company is, the address of the location, everything. He knows the match cards, and he'll give his opinion on it. And I watch it and I'm like, I totally forgot so-and-so was going to be at that place that time that day.
See?
I really am stupefied sometimes by how few wrestlers will promote shows that they're on. It's like, guys, you're on the show. Like
wouldn't you want more people there to buy your merch or whatever?
Yeah, and I guess part of the problem is just almost everybody makes a flat rate. So then you feel like, well, what's the incentive to draw more? And it's like, well, if you ever want to not make the flat rate, you should probably put in the effort. So then you can turn around in a month or two and go, hey, remember when you were drawing this and now you draw this?
I remember.
Robbie Mills. the one and the only Evan Atlas's buddy there, Professor.
Protege.
He is a protege. So anyway, you made your debut. You had the tag match. Did you stick with that company for a while before you branched out, or did you immediately like try to get booked wherever you could?
I stuck with them for a little bit. I did, after that initial debut, get the chance to work for a multitude of different companies. I got to do the Brooklyn Comic Con, which was really cool. I want to say that was no, it was not my first outside booking.
Yeah.
My first outside booking was, I want to say my second and third match, because I double shotted that day, so I did 2 matches in one day in the same area. The second match was just a regular singles, and I believe it was also against Journey Burke. And then the third match, would have been the second that day, was actually a championship match, which was wild. I did not win. Totally fine. It was a triple threat. Then it got changed to a 4-way match, and it was a lot of fun.
So what are some of the places you've wrestled state-wise? Like, in what states have you wrestled in so far?
I've done quite a few in Pennsylvania. I have wrestled in New Jersey. I'm actually set to do IWA, Intense Wrestling Alliance, in Jersey next month. Right. I have wrestled in New York. I wrestled in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Where else have I been? Delaware? Maryland. I think I'm coming up on Delaware, and where I thought was Delaware was not Delaware. It was actually Maryland.
So you are, I mean, we're talking 2 years and you are getting around. Like,
Oh, in West Virginia.
Virginia.
If you blink, you miss Delaware, let's face it. Sorry, Delaware, you're tiny, you know it.
What's the no respect for Delaware, Professor? That's the first state.
Yeah, I'm looking to go into Delaware. There is a company.
Michael wants a cheap. I'm going to give Michael a cheap plug because Michael was kind enough to. Yeah, he's like, it's now the Michael Wade Experience Sundays at 8:15 on his Facebook page. There you go, Michael.
There you go. That now you all know what you're going to go watch when we go.
But back to Zoe, he said.
I love it. I love it so much.
Anyway, so you've gotten around, and so, I mean, is it a matter of like, and I'm only asking because a lot of young wrestlers who just got into business are trying to learn how to do this. In other words, not learn how to wrestle. I'm talking about learn how to get out there.
Yes.
And when you start and you get comfortable in one place and you kind of, some people get kind of stuck there. I don't want to use the word stuck, but like in their mind, they know they're going to be there at least once a month. How do you cross that bridge?
Yes. Well, you are correct. There are people that definitely get stuck. Sometimes it's getting stuck because they just can't branch out to other places, or maybe someone else doesn't know about them very well because they're not expanding themselves. Right. But another one is that they could also just get so comfortable. Yeah. They don't go anywhere else and they choose not to. For some people that totally works. They're the hometown hero kind of guy, and they just stay where they are. Totally works. For me in particular, I knew that I wanted to branch out to more than just where I was training and the local area, because I wanted to experience so much more, because we had people that were coming in from multiple places, and I wanted to go to that place and I wanted to wrestle with them over their home promotion. Yeah. And the only way to do that is to actually go out there. A lot of the time I found that it was not difficult, but definitely anxiety building to figure out how to talk to someone else in a way that wasn't super like, hello, my name is Zoey Cannon, I would like to wrestle for you. But also not be like, hey, friend, because they're still your boss for the day.
Sure.
So it's finding that happy ground. And usually if you go in with the idea that we're here to do business, I'm here to entertain, and you are here to give me the platform to entertain. And that's usually how well it works. I've reached out to multiple companies in Massachusetts, and I've gotten responses from a good amount of them, and we're looking to work together, which I'm super excited about. Other places in Jersey, I talked to them, same idea. But it is building that connection. And then once you have a connection with someone in a particular place, maybe their friend also runs a promotion.
Right.
City over, and that you really start to build a web that way. So getting out, it can be hard, and it can be very it can be very not depressing, but kind of hits you a little bit when you get your first no.
Yeah.
Right.
And I've gotten plenty of no's, and it's okay because maybe it's just a no right now. Because I've
Yeah.
had places that say, nah, no, thanks. And then a year later, it's, hey, we were looking at your work and we think that you have developed great. We like your matches, whatever. And it's okay. It's just business. They only really need me for possibly a day, possibly a year. So if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But you learn.
My son has a. This is my son Zachary. What he says? What is your favorite match you wrestled so far? And the thing is, when I ask that question to the people that we have on here, I don't like to ask that question because I don't want you to like disclude everybody else you've ever wrestled before. So I'll amend his question because he's my son and I can to what is your some of your best opponents you've had in the last 2 years.
He is a grown ass man, and you need to respect his opinion.
He'll always be my son. Hey, I'm about to be 50, and he's 23, and he's my son, 22.
Well, I can actually answer his question and yours because I talk about it a lot.
Okay.
It's something when I learned when I was working in banking is you have to have a peak. And you have to have that thing, that bar that's always raising. And I consider this one particular match that I'm going to tell you about that bar.
Okay.
And I have not necessarily hit that bar. I've come close to it and maybe I've matched it, but I have not superseded that bar yet.
Because you challenge yourself.
Yes.
Okay.
Best match of my career so far that I will say would be my best match. And I may have not have done the most amount of moves. I definitely didn't win this match. And it wasn't a match that was like, the biggest main event of my life, but it was the most meaningful to me. It was myself, Zoey Cannon versus J.S. Hawthorne in May of 2024. And it was a main event match for the 3LW Heavyweight Championship, which Hawthorne was the champion.
Right,
this was the first time that a woman was going after the championship. I believe it was also the first time a student was going after the championship.
Wow.
And Hawthorne is probably the most, how can I phrase this? He will forever, until I meet someone new, he will forever be my greatest opponent. He took me to hell and back. I left that match sore and wondering what had just happened, but it was almost like that was when the light switched and I understood professional wrestling because J.S. Hawthorne made me understand professional wrestling. He worked with me, behind the scenes on what's going to happen, what we're going to do. I didn't even know what the ending was. I just knew I had to ask him different things about, like, are you injured anywhere? Am I injured anywhere? How is this going to work? Because, we're all working here.
Yeah.
And throughout our talks, throughout our entire match, everything, that was the match. That was the match of my career so far. Maybe
That's
until
awesome.
I see him again, who knows? But I would give J.S. Hawthorne all the credit for that entire match. He did moves that I never thought I could ever do. There were no moonsaults. There were no Canadian destroyers. I actually did. Well, I didn't, but I did those types of moves in a match with Smiley later on that year. Also a phenomenal creature. But J.S. Hawthorne put me through the highest level of anxiety I think I have ever experienced while still having to be a person. I cried during that match. I thought that, like, my soul was going to leave my body. And it's not because he did a move that hurt. It was just like, it really was like that entire everything just finally came together. And I was like, oh my God, this is wrestling. This is pro wrestling. This is professional wrestling. And I am with one of the greatest competitors of all time. So thank you, J.S. Hawthorne, for my career.
Well, listen, that is the greatest answer I've ever had on this show for many reasons. One, your description of it, like you completely emptied out how you emotionally felt during the match. But the other reason is because we love J.S. Hawthorne. We've had J.S. Hawthorne on this show before. We had him on this show before Three Legacies was a thing.
Oh God,
Really?
yeah, it's
For
been
real,
that long.
yeah, about 4 years ago,
Yeah,
around 4 years
yeah.
ago, we had him on the show before Rodriguez started Three Legacies. So we saw we as wrestling fans, as lifelong wrestling fans, Keith and I saw potential in that guy from when we first met him, and the first time we saw him wrestle in person, the first time we saw him cut a promo. That guy needs a contract with
Oh,
Yeah.
somebody.
absolutely.
And then
Like
especially
he's
when we
one of
had
those
him
guys
on
where
and he was
you can
telling us
say that
everything
about,
he was sacrificing for this. And it's
yes,
like,
Mhm.
you
you're
can
stupid
say
if you don't book that motherfucker. Like,
you
Oh,
can
yeah.
say you can say that about a handful of independent guys in the tri-state area. I get that, but J.S. Hawthorne deserves it. Like
yeah.
everything he's gone through in his life, everything he's gone through in this for this business, and the fact that we're talking about him 4 years later for somebody who wrestled him in one of their first matches, and it was for a championship, and he still makes you think about that, and now that's your bar. I mean, hats off. That's the best answer I've ever freaking heard. I
I
swear.
go back and I watch that match over and over and over again, and I can almost descriptively tell you each move that we had to do. But the emotion during the move, before and after, and everything, it's so good and it's so theatric to your emotions.
Right.
Where if you watched it with the sound off, you would still. I mean, I still cry when I think about it, but it was just so
Well,
good.
you should.
And like I think about this too. I once had someone tell me that, I'm replaceable. We're all replaceable. Everyone's replaceable. I can replace you in an instant. And like, you know
Sure.
what? Bet. Go right ahead. Not J.S. Hawthorne. That
No.
man is indispensable to the professional wrestling world, to the world of the arts, to everything. He can sing, he can dance, he can act, he can wrestle, he can draw. He made me this little gem here.
Nice.
The man can do anything.
He's
and
a, he,
so
he's an
indispensable to
artist.
the business.
He's a Da Vinci.
He's
Yeah.
an artist. Plain and simple, he's an artist.
And he's just like, he's a total mastermind of anything. If you put him in the ring with anyone, you could put him in the ring with Logan Paul. You could put him in the ring with Rey Mysterio, or you can put him in the ring
with
someone that is-
Suicide Myers.
If we actually made money on this show, just him showing up with that name demonetized our asses on YouTube.
All right.
Myers is also phenomenal. He's been
He
in the
is.
business for a very long time, and he was great enough to tag with my one of my tag partners, Byron Strongman Simmons,
Yep.
when I could not be there. And
Democracy rocks.
yes,
Democracy rocks.
Yep.
but Byron and Myers together are also a dynamic duo, and I love watching them.
Michael's back. A serious question. Any Evolve or LFG plans to help you get into the door of WWE?
I wish.
Sure.
A common misconception with WWE and AEW and other like very large promotions is that, you just show up and you do your best and they're going to take you. And that is so not true, because there are how many wrestlers on the independent scene, and there are how many, interviews and everything else going through those companies. It takes more than just being a phenomenal wrestler. It takes more than just having great promos and having a great look and having great gear. It takes so much more than that, because it's also time.
Yeah.
If you had a body double of me and they wore the same gear and they had the same look and the same characteristics and everything, but they were 18 or 19 years old, they have a much longer longevity in professional wrestling, or a potential to have a long longevity more than I do, being in my 30s. And that's just a fact. And that's not to say that I couldn't make it to WWE, because if
look at LA Knight. Look at his path. Look how old he is and how long it took him to get there.
And what's crazy about that idea, though, and I get it, like, yes, potentially even longer longevity, but historically, you were not considered to be really hitting your stride and reaching your full potential until you were in your 30s.
Yes.
Because everything before that was you getting reps and learning how to do this so that then you could go draw the big money.
Yes. And
At
fun
that point,
fact,
that sweet spot.
I don't have an athletic background. I did band forever. So the most athletic I got was marching band.
Nice. Well, I mean,
And
that's
you don't run in band.
No,
it's a lot of
don't.
marching and what did you play an instrument?
I mean,
I played the clarinet.
The clarinet. Okay, I was gonna say, so that's not very heavy. I was gonna say,
yeah,
one of
that
those
didn't
big
really do
like
the strength
tubas or
training.
something.
But I mean,
Okay, I got
that's cardio though, because you have to blow
It
on
is.
that.
You
The
do a lot of
marching-
like breathing
The
exercises.
marching was useful because that's
Mhm.
choreography and learning to do things in sync and on
Mhm.
timing. So I mean, there's useful lessons you got out of that.
everybody's on Democracy Rocks right now, boy.
Democracy Rocks is such a super fun tag team.
It
and
really is.
it was Byron Simmons that came up with the tagline of Democracy Rocks, the intergender tag team you never knew you needed. And we had cut a promo. It's actually including the outfielders that's going along the bottom of the screen here.
Yeah.
Yes.
He called me on the Democracy phones, which is, tin cans with a
Yep.
string.
Oh,
And
God,
he's
that was
like,
so
yeah,
fun.
SWO needs the intergender tag team they never knew they needed. And my first thought was, they already know who the outfielders are. That's their current tag team champions. And he's like,
It
no,
is.
Zoey, it's us. And I'm like, oh, that's right. But the outfielders, great.
They are on.
Oh,
They are
God,
on
yeah.
this show
Yep.
next week.
I can't wait to watch them. They're so good in the ring, and they're
Yeah.
just they
We've been trying to
captivate
get. We've
you
been
with-
trying to get them a while. And
Yeah.
and
Shane McCoy actually managed to work my mom with her brawl with Kimberly Spirit that they put on Facebook. They put that up because I share, everybody's shit for wherever I work, and I try to share for anything really that comes across my feed and put it
Love
out
it.
there. And I shared that video, and my mom called me up later and was like, "Was that real? Was what real? That wrestling thing you posted? I post a lot of wrestling things. You're gonna have to be more specific." And she's like, "The two girls in the parking lot and whatnot." And I'm like, "Oh." And at first I'm like, well, kayfabe means that I should tell her, yes, absolutely.
Always real.
But then I'm like, but it is my mom, and I'm going to get in trouble if she finds out I'm lying. So I'm like, all right, I'll split the difference. The fact that you had to ask means they did it right. And I can't wait to go back and tell them that because they are going to pop so hard. And they
Oh
did.
yeah.
Chris Vant from South Carolina. How did you handle the ups and downs when you first started out, and when did you realize that yes, this is what I want to do?
Oh, well, there were quite a few ups and downs. A lot of the ups came from my co-trainees, and it wasn't even the wins, but it was the people that I worked with. So my co-trainees, my opponents, different people that I did seminars with, they really helped establish that wrestling can be fun. And it can be community building, and it can be something that you want to do. Yeah. And a lot of the downs came from a variety of different places, but a lot of the times it was feeling or being told that I wasn't doing enough, or everything I was doing was wrong, or something. And it was just someone's opinion, and it didn't really mean anything, but it meant enough that over time it started to really get to me. But then I had the ups of, a co-trainee saying, hey, we're in this together. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. Like we got this. We're going to be the best. And when I realized that I wanted to do this was in my debut, because I finally got there. I finally, again, little 5-year-old Zoey who always wanted to do something. I was there. And even if I failed, I was there. And even if I didn't do well, I was there. And even if I forgot everything else in the match, I was there. And they weren't.
UCK in the house.
Al Snook, one of one. Al Snook, the current 3LW Legacy Champion, part of UCK, one of the greatest heel tag teams on this side of the Mississippi.
Absolutely.
Al Snook has been with me since day one. And he has gotten me through some of the toughest times. So, hello, Al Snook. Thank you for everything. Him and Just Jay. We for a long time, we were the big three.
Absolutely. So talk about what you've been up to lately. Stuff that you've feel like you've achieved, and then
Mhm.
also what you got coming up where people can see you wrestle both locally and wherever you're going to be.
Yes. So as of late, I have been working with Major League Wrestling. I am their stage director at the moment, and part of my role is to really just help make the show happen. I'm one of the people that will, just kind of go through that checklist. What do we have? What do we need? What do we need to get? And it's been a lot of fun. They've let me be on the road with them for at least the last year, and I've been to Texas and New York, and I went to LA for the first ever time. And Mikey Austin, fantastic referee. He's gotten me through some of my hardest matches. So
Yeah,
thank you.
he's all right.
Yeah. He's been in the ring with me when I've been crying, and he's just like, "You got this. Just breathe."
Didn't
And I'm
mean to
like,
interrupt. I didn't mean to interrupt what you're saying.
no, you're fine. He also is with me at MLW, so it's great.
Mm-hmm.
But I help out with them, and I'm always on the road with them, and it's a lot of fun seeing a lot of those behind the scenes that I would not have experienced just being on the basic independent scene, because they obviously aren't just the basic independent scene.
No.
So aside from them, I did High Ground Pro Wrestling yesterday.
Yep.
This upcoming weekend, Democracy Rocks will be facing the Heavy Metal Pirates in Pittsburgh.
Wow.
And I am so jealous of that tag team name.
Heavy Metal
Right?
Pirates.
Like just that name. It's like I don't know them, but I want to now.
I want to become really good friends with them because I love heavy metal and I love pirates, and they're
both.
I'm excited.
That's the perfect. It's pretty much the perfect tag team name for a tag team in the Pittsburgh area. I'll tell you that.
Oh
It
yeah.
really is.
Oh my lord.
After them, starting out the new year, I am going to be at Intense Wrestling Alliance in Nutley, New Jersey, facing Becca for the IWA Women's Championship. Again, this time I will not fail. I don't know if you saw my promo for that particular match, but I told myself that there were a lot of red flags in that match, and I was not going to stand for them, so I bought a bunch of red flags.
Nice.
I love where this is going.
So there's a thing that I will usually tell my opponents when we're trying to figure out our match. I am not athletic. I am, but I'm not the most athletic. I am not the most charismatic. I am not the most attention grabbing. I can't make the entire crowd hate me instantly. I also can't get them to love me instantly. And I at least can't do these things yet because I have so much more to learn. And I watch the people that inspire me, J.S. Hawthorne, Sammy Chaos, Becca Wiley, Vicious Vicky. I watch a lot of her work.
Have you seen her promos lately?
Yeah.
Is she okay? Because she's got me legit worried for her mental psyche.
I cannot
what is
say
going
enough
on with
great
Vicious
things
Vicky
about
right
that
now?
woman. She's fantastic in and out of the ring. Like, if you ever needed an outline for like what a best friend should be, it's Vicky.
She was one of our first guests, Keith. She like
was.
5 years ago.
I think she was our first
She was our first female guest, that's for sure. But I mean, she was one of our.
You need to get her back on because she is so great. I mean, I saw her backstage at TNA in Rhode Island.
Yeah, how has she not been signed yet either? That's another.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Right? That's what I'm saying. She has the look. She's attractive, and she's like, we all know this. She has the charisma, and she has the gear, everything. And she has the mental knowledge and the capacity and the cardio, and she has it all. She has it all except for a contract. And I think the contract would just be the really nice bow on top of the package that is Vicious Vicky.
True. Mm-hmm.
They need her. Like, professional wrestling needs her. She doesn't, like.
I agree.
Get this woman signed. So
get her versus Charlotte. All right, that's my dream match right there. Get her versus Charlotte.
I don't even know who to root for.
All right, so Suicide Myers said, I'm not going to put this comment up here, but he said, my apologies. But if you asked this, somebody asked this already, I came in a little late, but who is your biggest inspiration? We talked about The Undertaker, and we talked about Charlotte.
Right?
I mean, those.
And that's from a professional like what you see on TV standpoint. And
But you
I will
also
still
mentioned a
say,
bunch of independent people that
Mhm.
yeah.
but the number one will always be, again, until someone raises that bar and they got a way to jump up for it. My biggest non-TV inspiration will be J.S. Hawthorne.
And who knows? I mean, that guy's probably going to be on TV
Yeah.
someday.
He should be. Again, the man
in some,
has it all.
yeah.
We
Except-
just need more companies with TV because honestly,
Mhm.
that's the problem is that there's only so many hours of television and there's only so many roster spots.
And
That's
television's
why it's so hard
changed
for anybody
too.
to
Mhm.
make it.
It's all streaming now.
So
And
it's also wild to see that, like, for example, C.W. Anderson and Brock Anderson. They've
mhm.
been on Major League Wrestling. I've met them many times. Excellent gentlemen inside and outside of the ring. And then I turn on TNA, and they're on TNA
Right.
with Bear Bronson, and I'm like, I know all of them. That's awesome. That's fantastic. And so you see these people on so many different platforms, and it's almost like, well, where's my spot? You
Yeah.
know? Or where's so and so's spot? And these things are gonna happen, and they're gonna eventually come to fruition, and we're gonna see more people on TV because there's
Yeah.
more opportunities now.
Right.
But it's also great that more of the independent scene shows are also happening on Facebook Live, YouTube Live. I don't know of any other lives, but you know, it's being able to be watched when you can't get a ticket or
Right.
you're not in the area.
Or
So
even from other parts of the country. I mean, Keith and I have people from down south. We have people from Alabama, Mississippi,
Mhm.
Florida, Arkansas, the Carolinas, and so they always say, "Okay, so if you want to watch our stuff, this is where we post it." And then you go to YouTube channel and you watch like
Mhm.
SWA wrestling down in Mississippi, and you see Hillbilly Joe down there in that bunch, and it's kind of cool.
And conversely, then our stuff is traveling across the country too. Like a couple of guys that we work with went out to the New Japan Dojo from 3WA and they were asked where they had worked. And they're like, oh, we just recently were working for 3WA. And they're like, oh, we know 3WA Carnage. Yeah. And it's like,
Mhm.
holy fuck, people have heard my voice in the New Japan Dojo.
Pretty cool, huh?
I don't know if they liked it or not. I didn't hear anything, and frankly, I was too much of a pussy to ask. But they've heard my fucking voice out there, like
Right?
fuck.
It's good
Well,
stuff.
there's even like Cody Fluffman, who he's a professional wrestler and he's a man nana on the Savannah Bananas. And
Oh
I
my
got
God.
to meet him. Oh, hilarious. 10
I
out of
love the
10.
Savannah
Like, no
Bananas.
notes. Like, why doesn't he also have a contract? But I had asked him, where can I see more of your work? And he's like, oh, I have quite a bit on IWTV. And I'm like, IWTV is such a great component in professional wrestling
Yep.
because when I'm at the gym, when I'm avoiding doing my job at work, I can just look up on my phone and I can watch a match and I can waste time,
Right.
if there's something else I need to be doing, which usually there is, but I can see all these different outlets. So sure, it might not be TV, but it's certainly a lot better than not being able to go to a show. So now I have to miss out on their match. Like I just got to recently see a clip of Cody Fluffman and Atrocity Cruel or Mads Cruel Kruger team up against their opponents and do like a double steamroller type of, and it was fantastic. And you wouldn't be able to see these things unless you were either at the show, which it was down south, so I can't go.
Right.
Or to be able to watch it on Facebook or Instagram or IWTV or any other streaming platform. And that's fantastic. So it's a lot not easier to see your favorite wrestlers
No.
when you can't see them, but it's also a little bit harder because now there's so much. Now you have to
Right.
where
And
you
who
need
has
so
the time
much.
to watch all of it? Right.
It
And there's
does
only so
almost
many hours in the day.
it does become like the democratization is so great, but then that's the drawback is like, but how do you possibly watch everything that's out there now?
It's so difficult, but so worth it.
Oh yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. So for those who have not ever seen you wrestle, for those watching who have never seen you wrestle, first
Why?
and foremost, first and foremost, why? Sure. First and foremost, you can look her up on YouTube. You will find her matches. That's what I did to research this show, was to find some of her matches and watch some of her more recent stuff. But so it's all on YouTube. Just look up her name, you'll find her. But for those of you who have not seen her wrestle, could you tell them who Zoey Cannon is and what Zoey Cannon is about?
Yes, Zoe Cannon has been going through a little bit of a metamorphosis. Back in May, I tore my right ACL.
Oh,
And then come to find out that I had also previously tore my left ACL, so I just don't have any. I did have surgery in June, and from my surgery date until some sort of a return that I felt comfortable for was 79 days.
Okay.
Not recommended.
yeah. No,
But I did
that's a little
physical therapy just about every single day, inside and out of the office. And it was hard. Byron and his wife Katie were two of my biggest supporters. They do strongman, or they used to anyway. And so they taught me how to modify different exercises and things. And I was out of my leg brace like very, very quickly. But I got back into shape, and I tried my best, and I started reaching out to more promotions, and I was like, I can do this. I had a very important person who taught me a lot of wrestling psychology tell me that even if right now I can't be center stage, because we all do this as a performance, even if I can't be center stage, I'm going to be the best tree in the business. So you need a tree in the background. I'm there. And I'm there and you're not, to the guy that's saying like, oh, you're just terrible because you're just a tree. I'm going to be the best tree you've ever seen. I'm going to have the biggest branches. And then one day I'm going to get back into that center stage, which I'm hopefully getting closer to. And I'm doing more, and I'm doing what I can. But since that surgery, which had me sitting with myself for quite some time, I got to kind of go over what and who is Zoey Cannon. And I would like for Zoey Cannon to become a household name. I want Zoey Cannon to be feared, but also loved. And it really depends on, the promotion. But
Sure.
I want Zoey Cannon to be inspiring. And I want little kids, because I love wrestling for kids, they give me the most honest feedback.
Sure.
When I wrestle for kids, I want that little girl, that little 5-year-old Zoey Cannon, to look up at me and go, I want to be just like you one day. And even if I laugh at it and I was like, oh, aim higher, kid, or something, I'm good enough to be inspiring to someone that has no idea who I am. Why not? So I really want Zoey Cannon to become the household name. I want to be that guy. And maybe I will. I just have to try.
That's awesome. Michael says, like the song, she got knocked down, but she got up again. You're never going to keep her down.
Mm-hmm. I used to come out to Dare by the Gorillas. That was my entrance song. But now, copyrights and things like that.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's still one of my favorite songs. But whenever I come out, Michael Wade is always front row, and he's a lifelong wrestling fan, and it's fantastic. And I come out and I would purposely look for him, and we have a little dance session for a couple seconds. I'd get in the ring. And that was really, I looked forward to that every time, because that was my thing. The fans got to see me come out and do my entrance, but that was my thing. That was what I needed in order to get in the ring. That was nice. Now I can't jump like that.
So as you work hard to get to where you need to be and get to where you want Zoey Cannon to be, talk a little bit about, like, how you develop what she does in the ring, because, like, I know you mentioned at the beginning, admittedly, you're not athletic. You're not the most athletic person, but, like, you must have sat down many times and thought, okay, what should I be doing? Like, how should I be ending matches? And have you changed that? Has it developed? Have you tried a bunch of things and seen what works?
Yes. I have tried a lot of things, and most of them didn't work. And I don't know if they just didn't work at the time, but a lot of the feedback that I was getting was, nope, absolutely not. Nope, done. And I would like to go back and try them again, because maybe it just didn't work because of my size, or because of my my level of experience or something, or maybe I just wasn't doing it the better way. So I'd like to go back. Two of my big moves. Hi, Sherida. Sherrida's a sweet baby angel. We love her. But two of my biggest moves came from me just messing around. And the first one is called the Beached Whale. and it's a sitting crossbody. So I get my opponent to finally be able to sit down in the middle of the ring, and then I run and I hit the ropes and I go, look out, here comes me, and then it's a crossbody and I knock him down. And that came from a training where I could not jump, and this was prior to me hurting my knees. I just can't jump. I never really had to jump in my life. I'm this tall. I'm not going anywhere. I'm low to the ground for a reason. So when I had to do a crossbody on someone that's maybe like 6 feet tall, I really had to jump to get up there, and that just wasn't going to happen. So finally, my opponent, what I was training with, had to kind of get lower and lower and lower, and finally he sits down on the ground, and he's like, "Oh, is this low enough? Are you gonna finally hit me?" And at that time, I was overweight because when I started, I was like well over 220 pounds, and I lost it all through wrestling. And I was like, "Oh, you know what, you know," and every time that I landed, I would make like this horrific noise. So it sounded like a whale call because it was just so that's how we got the beached whale, because it was just funny.
Oh my Lord.
And I kept with it because sure, I'm not the same size anymore, and I might not necessarily make the same sound, but it's memorable. And the second move also came from fooling around and just having fun, and it is called the Amish motorcycle.
Oh man.
And I hop on your back, and I hold your arms, and I go, and I make motorcycle noises.
Did you do that at SWO?
Yes,
I think you did. Yes,
I'm
you
pretty
did.
sure I remember that move.
I
Yes,
was
you
on General
did.
Diesel's back, and I started up the Amish motorcycle, and then it stalled out, and then I had to try to get my starter broke, and then his partner Ace Dallas said throw it in reverse, and I said it doesn't go in reverse, and he went back.
I wish we knew what that was called when we called it, Keith, because we were trying to call it
So
whatever we were trying to call. If we knew it was called the Amish motorcycle, I don't know.
It's been called the Amish motorcycle, the Amish bicycle. Yesterday, it was called the Amish wheelbarrow, and every time I love it more and more. And I don't ever get angry when someone calls it the wrong name because they know what it is. They know it's a thing. So it's funny.
That's awesome.
There's quite a few moves that I'll do that I personally consider them 0% impact and 100% funny. Yeah, there we go. Because I put the entertainment in sports entertainment because sometimes I just can't bring the sports. You know?
I love it.
That's okay.
It works. Comedy works in this business. Not everything has to be devastation and killing a motherfucker. Like, people really need to understand, like, you don't have, if you're doing 5 Canadian destroyers and he kicks out, it didn't make him tough. It means you suck at the Canadian destroyer and you're ruining the Canadian destroyer. Like,
yeah.
Conversely, though, but if you sell it, something as stupid as slapping a guy across the face, if you sell it correctly, can be as over as shooting him with a gun. It's all about doing shit correctly. And please, for the love of God, don't shoot anyone with a gun. I am not endorsing that.
All right.
I have only ever done 1 Canadian destroyer, and it was with Smiley for our singles match. And I did things in that match, again, like I never thought I would be able to do or take. And he did the Canadian. I'm the one that did the little flippy over, and then he kind of, went ass over tea kettle backwards and everything. But that was 100% him. And anyone that says that Smiley cannot wrestle because of his size is dead wrong. That man pulls things out of thin air. And I also learn a lot from him. He's right up there with J.S. Hawthorne as far as inspiration. And it's not because of weight or anything. It's because of just the knowledge. Because whatever is hiding underneath that mask is just brilliance. And he does moves and then does better moves and then takes things and just everything. Like your entire brain could just explode watching that, man.
So yeah. So we're getting close to the end.
Yes.
Let me see. Of course, let's not forget she has the best Boston crab since Pedro Morales. Yes, I'm old. Hey, Mike.
I go back to Rick
Pedro
Martel
Morales,
personally.
buddy. I know who that is.
All
right.
You watched his first matches and took some of his baby pictures. He knows who Pedro Morales is.
Be quiet. All right. So, So we're getting ready to wrap this up, but let people know where you're going to be in the near future, and also social media, how they can follow you and things like that.
Well, let's see here.
She got
On
the great
social
big book of
media.
everything. That's the great big book of everything right there. Kate.
Yes. If I could give any advice to any up and coming wrestler, do a promo, even if it's a crap promo, cut a promo every single day on anything, on anyone, a guy in traffic or whatever. Cut a promo, get it documented. Also, get yourself a planner, because someone will ask you if you're available, and it's always, I don't know, and then you never get back to them, and the next thing you know, you're already booked 3 things that day.
Yep.
So yeah, get a planner. I will be, let's see, what month is it? What year is
December 7th,
it?
2025.
Not according to Mr. Miller and Victor Atlas from The Cure and the Curse. They think that it's 1891. I will be in Pittsburgh next Saturday on the 13th. I will be somewhere. I will be at Mon Valley Pro on January 3rd. I will be in Delaware on January 10th. I may even be at New Era Pro Wrestling later that month. I will be at IWA in Jersey. I got a couple different people that I have to go entertain for. But on Instagram, it is Zoey Cannon with 1_. On Facebook, it is Zoey Cannon. And I don't have Twitter anymore because I didn't know how to use it. So I got rid of it.
No, but Instagram, guys, if you follow her on Instagram,
what it's become, that might have been
that's got her promos are usually on there. If she cuts a promo, they're on there. Usually the wrestling poster of the event she's going to be at is usually on there. So you can definitely follow her on Instagram and get all the information you need about Zoey Cannon, and go on YouTube and check out Zoey Cannon's matches. Just Google, search her up on YouTube, and you'll find some Zoey Cannon matches and check her out. And my dear,
there should be more coming up soon.
There's more coming. We're going to be watching. My dear, it's been an absolute pleasure to get to know you today. Keith and I are definitely fans. We're going to look forward to what happens next with you. You're just getting started. You're just scratching the surface, I'm sure.
And I'm already having this much fun, so I can only imagine what more would feel like.
It's going to be something. It's going to be something to behold.
It's going to be great.
But I hope we get to check back in with you a year from now or so and see how things are going.
Oh, absolutely.
We wish you nothing but the best, and we hope we see you again soon, especially in SWO, because Keith and I do the commentary there. It was a pleasure to call your match against Ace Dallas and General Keys. But you know what, Keith, the SWO Tag Team Champions are going to be here next week.
Yes, indeed.
The Outfielders on this channel next week on Sunday at 7. Guys, tune in. You don't want to miss that.
Yeah,
they are a bundle of joy. If you guys enjoyed Zoey Cannon, just multiply that times 2. Because, oh my God, they are a handful, and Keith and I are going to try to do our best.
Let's try to make it happen at SWO. Democracy Rocks
versus the Outfielders. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I want that.
Sign me up. Sign me up. I love it. Is there anything that we did not talk about that you would like to before we leave?
Check on your friends. Wrestling can be one of the most emotional things that you go through long term, either by yourself or with other people. Empower women in professional wrestling. Empower women in general. Wrestle for the kids. Give the kids something to go home and think about in a positive way. Do your best. Try your best. Eat your vegetables. Go to the gym. Something. I don't know. Just have fun with it. One of the best questions that I have ever been asked in professional wrestling was by Byron Simmons. It was actually before the big JS Hawthorne match. I was crying because I'm panicking because what if I fail and what if I'm terrible? And he finally sat me down and he said, "Are you having fun?" And I was like, "No, I'm crying." And he said, "But are you having fun?"
Right.
I think that was also a key component to how everything clicked that night. Have fun. Have fun. Even if you fail, even if you make a complete buffoon of yourself. I fought Santa yesterday.
Oh, I do that twice a month when I sit next to the professor while he's doing this eloquent commentary, and I make a complete jackass out of myself twice a month.
But we have to.
Yes. Professor, you have any parting gifts for Miss Cannon?
Thank you for your time. Thank you for trusting us. It was a blast. I can't wait to do it again.
That hour went
too.
like
I'm
that.
so excited.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I'm Big Al. That guy is Professor Keith, and this was Zoey Cannon. This was Around the Turnbuckle. We'll see you guys next week with the outfielders.
You think you know me?